And especially when I see the young ones like your age coming up, I'm so happy because if the young ones are coming, then the old one have no choice to stay there. So there's a special song I want to do for you. It's called "Welcome Home" by Osibisa.
Oh, I definitely know it.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Now this is the remix version
Really?
with T Blaze, one of Ghana's legend rappers. So let's take it.
Yeah.
This song reminds me of my mother.
He likes it.
In the making.
Hey, mama, this always.
We'll see son never die. Hip hop version. You always talk.
This is the hip hop version.
T-Play, with the keyboard supremo, Kiki Jack. I get it, style written down. You always talk about me. But there's no place like home.
Taking your production to the next level. We're just getting started.
Where you really belong. You are always welcome home. Welcome home. You've been kept back for much too long. Stand in peace and say I am free. Don't forget you are welcome. Welcome home. Come with me on this amazing back to the promised land. All will be happy and dear. Come with me on this amazing back to the promised land.
Welcome home and welcome to the show. Good morning, Yaya.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Cool. And on behalf of Xlive Africa and my production team and everyone, we are so grateful for you coming.
Well, thank you for
You know, for having a baby, and I mean, it means a lot to us. It means a lot to us. So let's have the conversation. Since when did you decide to come to Ghana? Did you decide on your own, or somebody brought you here?
Okay. Well, coming to Ghana was a family decision, but it's a family decision that started back in, let's say, I believe 98. I was 8
Wow.
years old. That's 1998.
Hmm.
I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio, born and raised. My mother was born and raised. I came from a single mother. And my mother was always just one of those, black and proud women. Like, I want to go home. This is not where we're from. That's how our mother raised us. We live in America, baby, but we're not American. This is not where we're from. And so my mother, her vision and her dreams always to go to Africa. And she finally was able to do that. That was in she was finally able to, get some African friends. And, we always hear good things about Ghana because since you have had your independence, no civil wars, no problems. And, she met some other people and had some friends who came to Ghana that, Ghana's really great, he speaks English. And so she was like, let's do it. And so 1999, for the New Year, we came in November and we did the 2000 New Year here. And my mother said, that's it. We're going to move here. And it took us 10 years. But in November, the same month in which we came, November 09, we moved here. 2009, we moved here indefinitely.
Wow. So your mom is also here?
Well, technically, yeah, but my mother passed away 5 months after we moved here.
Oh.
And so who all moved here was me, my brother, and my sister. And my mother, she passed away 5 months after we moved here. But it was just like, doesn't mean anything.
But she's finally made it.
Yeah, she made it. Actually, my mother was sick and she knew that she was passing, and so her dream was to pass here. And so we were all aware of her health And once she got here, she was like, I can really leave now. I'm home. I can now go to the next level. And we was like, go ahead, mama.
Whoa. For me, that's sweet to hear. Yeah, that's sweet to hear. And so since then, you and your brothers have been here.
Me, my brother, and my sister. My brother, he just recently passed away too. But me and my sister, we're still here, and we have between the two of us 4 boys. So although we lost 2, we gained 4. Yeah, so it's always it's a bittersweet, but it's really good. I love it. I love being here. I love that I had both of my children here. My sister had both of her children here. My sister is now currently in Zambia. Her husband is Ghanaian, but they relocated. And then I'm here in Ghana with my husband and my children. And I've been here for 8 years. I have not returned to America in 7 years. And every time my friends like, when are you gonna come back? When are you coming back? I'm like, well, I don't know. And for those of that's listening, I'm 27. I've done all my 20s in Ghana. When I came here, I was 19.
Wow.
And so, I don't know when I'm going to go back to America. I'm not in a rush. I'm really not.
Wow. So, for you staying here, and as I said, I had the opportunity to work with a lot of African Americans in Ghana, and I was doing my own observation, and some of the observation that I made was that it looks like the younger ones are not eager to come.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Okay, so what do you think is the problem?
The
issue.
The funny thing is that the perception of how Africa is portrayed to the world. Every time we see Africans on TV, they're the starving, poor, living out in the villages, half naked. They're running around with animals. They try to show you just this primitive, negative image of Africa, like they all have AIDS. They're savages. And they don't show you places like Osu. They don't show you Accra Mall. They don't show you the theater. They don't show you East Lagan and Continent and Tessino. These are, areas where people who have money, where the rich live. They don't show you those things. So when we see Africa, we like, when we say, oh, I'm going on a vacation, we're going to say Paris or the Caribbean. And then you say Africa, I'm like, Africa? Be careful of the lions. Something silly like that. People ask me, so how do you have to get around there? Do you have cars? Yeah, we do. The first time I seen a Range Rover was here in Ghana.
Oh, really?
Yes, really. And people like, oh, Range Rovers, people have them. Yes, people have them in the States a lot. But the first time I seen a Range Rover was here. I'm not even sure I'm going to say this car right. Is it Maserati? The first time I seen the Maserati was here in Ghana. I was in the Chocho and it just zoomed past. And I'm like, I asked my sister, I'm like, is that her? She said, yes. I'm like, okay. Then the next time I'm seeing the Bentley. And I'm like, hey, wow. A Maybach. You see those things. And it's like, when I come here and I see the houses, and I'm like, there's no way in America that we can afford to build. Our houses are made with drywall. You're building with pure concrete. We don't even build our houses. If you tell somebody in America, yeah, I'm building my house from the ground up, you have money. thing about here is that when you buy land, it tells you you're leasing it for 99 years. So for that 99 years, nobody is going to take your land. That's your land. You know, you got houses that's been passed down generation by generation.
And there are those that you can buy like outright. That's
Exactly.
forever, yeah.
Exactly.
Even there's one behind my house what they are selling. There's a leasing option of 60 years, and there's outright price also there. So,
Exactly.
yeah. So now, you've been here for 8 years,
Yes.
and you've been working.
That one was that was a really great experience. I worked for 4 years. I've been here for 8 years, so for the first 4 years I wasn't working.
Okay.
And then through a friend I was able to get a job at Silverberg in a month. And I worked there for 4 years, and I just recently resigned back in July.
Is it because of the baby?
The baby and several other reasons.
Okay. So tell us, how was you working there? What's like this?
Working there was great because it really, you know, I have always been the type that I don't just want to stay in the house. I want to get out and interact with people, but I really got to understand Ghanaian people better because I was the only, like, you know, outside of, okay, maybe a Nigerian or somebody from Togo. I was the only person amongst the staff who was actually from another continent.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I really got to understand, you know, how Ghanaians think, how you feel about certain things, and it just helped me to relate among the people.
So can you share some of that, the things that you learned, how
Yeah, sure.
they did, share some of that?
You know, in America, we're so used to a system, and, you know, Ghanaians, you're much more relaxed, and so I learned how to communicate better. You know, I had to, like, you know, understand that the things that I experienced in America, I can't necessarily come here and then feel like, oh, okay, you should do it like this, you should do it like this. I learned how to better communicate.
How?
One thing I realized is that a lot of times people tell me I speak too fast, and I don't think I'm speaking too fast.
Okay.
But then it's like, you know, bring your speech down. So I learned how to better communicate. I understood, you know, the attitude, because sometimes I thought that maybe, you know, sometimes I would feel like, oh, this person, they're having an attitude towards me. And one of my coworkers tell me, they just don't understand you.
You know what? I will let you go and feed my brother and come back because we're interested in the conversation. So
No problem.
just go and give him something that he likes most. So we're still on Xlive Africa, and we're having our Diasporan conversation with our sister Yaya, and the conversation is so interesting. So we'll be right back after this musical break.
This street in the making.
No, boy, like, where's my mama?
Nelson Mandela, South African Black Dog, like Patrick Mabuga, Norman Sogo, Gilbert Single, there's Yomo Kenyatta,
That's a Ghanaian,
Wole Soyinka,
a Ghanaian rapper by the name K6, aka Cool Stone. He called this one Black Diamond. And I always define who a Black Diamond is. Anyone that's dreaming for Africa, dreaming for the unification and the betterment of Africa, you're a Black Diamond. Anyone who is ready to lay his life for Africa, you're a Black Diamond. And that's why he's mentioned the name of Kwame Nkrumah, Malcolm X, Dr. King, and the rest. Big shout out to all of these great ancestors of ours. Let's take this one from Dark Sabbath. They call this one Mama. And right after that, we go into our conversation. That's a beautiful song by the group known as Dark Sabbath featuring Yaya. They call this one Mama. And this one takes out to 11 minutes past now right here on the show. Yeah, we are back.
Yes.
My brother is okay now, so we can also be okay here. You were talking about how your work at the Silverbird Cinema helped you to learn about Ghanaian, the way we do our things and all that. We'll continue from that.
You know, I was just saying to you a moment ago is that when us Americans and are those of us who are wherever we're from, you know, live in America, Korea, UK, we come to Ghana and we're just so used to how we are and
Over there.
exactly how we communicate, how we get around. And it's like, listen, you're not in America anymore. You're not in America. Now you need to adapt to the way they do things here. You need to learn how to communicate effectively so that the people here have an understanding of what you want, who you are, and what you're about. And that's what working amongst Ghanaians did for me. I came to understand that, if I'm not getting the results that I'm desiring, it's maybe because the way I'm communicating or the way I'm coming across is not being well received. And so it taught me that, I gained a greater love for Ghanaian culture, for the foods, for the music.
So which one is your favorite food, Ghanaian food?
Oh, my favorite food right now is falafel sauce, which I actually cook.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't used to eat falafel sauce in the States?
No, I never had anything like falafel sauce. For those who don't understand what we're talking about, falafel sauce or contomere is like spinach. It's a lot like spinach, but it's prepared in like a, I guess the way I can say it is like a stew, and then you eat it with plantain. I actually eat mine with unripe bananas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I like it with yam though.
I like cassava more than yam.
Oh, okay.
I like cassava more.
No. This girl is now a true Ghanaian, man.
Yeah, I love cassava.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And doing those things, it was because of working that I got, I was able to meet some of a lot of your actors and
celebrities.
Exactly. I met is it Sarkodie? I met
Africa's greatest rapper.
Yeah. I met Yvonne Nelson, Jackie Apia, Juliet Ibrahim. I got to meet them, and so many beautiful African people. A lot of times you say like they show just certain things after they're ugly, and I'm like, ugly where? I don't know.
If Africa is ugly, then it should be ugly out there.
Exactly, and I'm like,
that's where it came from.
Ugly where? Not all Africans look the same. This is the most. I believe I'm quoting the right thing. I think it's where there's like Africa is the most genetically diverse place on the planet. And it was like, you go to South Africa and they look different. You go to East Africa and they look different. You go to North Africa and they look different. Even within West Africa, we don't all look the same. And there's like so many different beautiful people. And I just loved it. Working here gave me the greatest experience. It helped me. And I actually met my husband through my work.
Whoa.
So,
what's his name?
My husband, give it a shout out. His name is Tariq Thompson.
He's a Ghanaian.
Yes, he's Ghanaian.
Oh, okay.
Half Ghanaian and then Niger. All African.
All African. That's it. So you are Pan-African. Pan-Africanist anyway. Well, so now how have you been using your experience to tell your brothers and sisters, especially the young ones in the States, about African Ghana?
Oh goodness, we don't have enough time. I'm pretty sure, when I'm talking to somebody out there who's probably thinking about coming down to Africa or coming down to Ghana, and it might be some who are thinking about coming here to live. And there are several things that you need to just, get yourself prepared for. You need to understand what I would talk, I'm speaking directly to those who are listening, who's outside and they want to come and visit. Leave all your expectations at the airport. As soon as you get off, before you even board the plane to come to Ghana, leave those expectations there and be open.
Well, expectations are good. So why would you say they should leave the expectations out?
This is why I say that. Because, a lot of us have a painted picture of what we think Africa is. We're coming to Ghana, but we're like, we're in Africa. And we have this expectation of it should be like this, and it should be like that, and the people should be like this, and the people is like that. And then when we come, we realize that it's not so. And so sometimes, when I came, I was surprised by the women who wore, the Brazilian weaves. I'm thinking that I'm going to see more of the natural hair. And I was surprised by how many people were wearing westernized clothes. And I was surprised by, you know, the way that some of the people talked and the music. And so it wasn't a bad surprise, but I was just surprised.
Yeah.
And I realized, you know, leave those expectations there and just be open to what you might come and see, because you might see something that you wasn't expecting. You might see something that, you know, totally shocked you. And it's not negative, but it helps for you to absorb all that you're taking in. And it leaves you, you know, it lets you be free, let you go with the flow, honestly.
The music at the background, after a while, we will listen to it fully. It's just about Now That I'm Here. The Ghanaian who is now schooling in the States, I don't know, maybe he's now done with school. And he did the song when he first got there, his shocks. He was like, true Hollywood, he's never saw beggars in the street.
Exactly.
He never saw homeless people, but he went there himself and saw beggars, homeless people, and none of that.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. You're painted this picture, you know, just like we're painted a picture of Africa, you're painted a picture of America. Everywhere looks like New York. Wrong. No, and that's only the good part of New York. If they do, you know, a 180 and turn that camera around and look behind you, then you'll see what the rest of New York look like. And it don't all look like Madison Square Garden. I'm sorry, it doesn't. You'll see the homeless man on the side of the road begging for people, you know, to help, and you'll see people walking past who have more than enough money in their pocket, but they're like, hey, get a good job. You know, it's not always it's not always the pretty picture that's painted, and it's not always the devastating picture that's painted.
Last week, when we had Mama Shiriki here, I asked her, and I think you've gone into that already, her first shock when she got down, and she was like, police carry no gun. That was her first shock.
Exactly.
So what are can you take us through some of your shocks?
The shocking thing to me was children outside past dark, just walking around.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you know, in America, you know, once it gets so dark, we don't have 5 and 6-year-olds walking around, 9-year-olds without adults. It's just
so they have to.
You know, and when I see how free the people were, you know, you'll still see children on the street just walking about, and I was like, okay, because, you know, if we're about where they were, like, literally right in front of our house. But when I saw them, this is not talking about when I came in 2009. I'm talking about when I came in 99.
When you were younger.
When I was younger.
So you were able to relate to it. You see kids of your age.
Exactly. I'm like, why are you not in, I'm thinking to myself, you know, it's dark. Why are you not in the house? Because, you know, we have a saying in America, when the street lights is on, you need to be in the house. Don't let the street lights come on, especially black people. And I'm pretty sure somebody who's listening that's agreeing right now. When those street lights come on, if you're not in the house,
what can happen if
you get a whooping? That's what happens. There's a belt or a shoe or a hanger or a stick. It's something waiting for you.
For what reason?
Because some people over there are crazy. You know, kids coming up missing, kids are dying and stuff. You know, it's not unheard of. You know, that people coming up missing, you just don't know what can happen. But when I came over here and I was 9 and I'm seeing 9-year-olds and it's 10 o'clock at nighttime and they're still outside playing, and I'm like, wow. So is that safe that y'all not worried about somebody running away with your kids? That was shocking to me. Now, coming back as a 19, you know, almost an adult, some of the things that shocked me was how modern things had become. You know, I was so shocked because I came here and I had my nails done. I had my nose pierced. I had like 2-3 earrings in my ear, my dressing. And I thought that I was going to be outcast. I thought that they was going to look at me like, you know, maybe a promiscuous girl. And then when I came here and I saw how they were dressed, I'm like, wow. You know, I see the girls with the acrylic nails, the fashionable clothes. And I'm like, okay, cool. This is a good surprise.
But today you don't have those things.
No, I don't have it because I have to deal with the baby. So, you know, it's kind of difficult to deal with him. You know,
with those things on.
Exactly. But I still have my ears pierced. I still have my nose ring. You know, I'll still have my toes painted. But, you know, and that was a good shock because it was like, okay, cool. You know, I can still feel like I'm 19. I can still be myself.
And you can still feel like you're even in the state.
Exactly. Good shocks. I was so happy to see that y'all had a shopping mall. You know, somewhere, not because I want to go and, you know, spend up all my money, but somewhere that I can go, something that I was used to. That was, you know, a popular hangout amongst me as my friends. You know, I love the music. Oh my gosh, the music, the music, the music.
So, off air, I was asking you, but who is your favorite artist in Ghana?
I don't have a favorite artist in Ghana, you know, but when I hear music, I like it. The song by Raquel, Sweetie. I love that song.
Oh,
I love that song. So cute. So, you know, it's just, it just gives you that warm and gooey and it's just feeling like, oh, this is just so cute. You know, something I'm going to sing to my husband, although I never sing it to him because I can't sing. And I don't want to hurt his eardrum.
yeah, but I'll play for him.
Go ahead, play it for him. And then play it for the ones who's listening so they can understand.
Exactly. So, these are some of the shocks now.
Now, I'll tell you some of the things that were negative. When I came in, I was called Obruni.
Obruni.
Now, or for those who are listening, Obruni means white person.
White man.
White man.
And it literally in Chi, it means a wicked man. That's the meaning of that. Obruni.
Now, and when I found out the meaning of that, I was very offended. I'm like, I'm not white. Nowhere, no, and if I was in America, regardless if I'm light-skinned, and I'm not a light-skinned woman, I'm brown-skinned, you know, I would never be called anything like that. And it's like, oh, well, you know, that's just something that we call foreigners. People from the West are foreigners. Yeah. And so, you know, at first, when I first came here for the first 2 years, that irked my nerves. That one right there, Obruni, and I just got used to it.
And now have you got to understand why they call you Obruni? To them, it's not offensive.
Exactly.
They put you at a higher pedestal in their mind.
When I came, and then, you know, I was talking to an older man. He actually lived in Cincinnati, Ohio, and he'd been here for like 30 plus years. And I asked him, doesn't that annoy you? And he was like, no. He's like, you know, you can't get mad at somebody for something that they don't understand. That's how they identify you. They know that you're not from here. You probably is from there. And so they just label all of you as a Bruni, but they're not saying that you're a white person. They're just labeling you as somebody from over there. Just like when we see you guys, they're like, oh, we don't know what country you're from, so Africans. We don't know that you're Ghanaian or
so they feel that people have to start an advocacy that Africa is not a country, it's a continent.
Exactly, but we don't know that. You know, I mean, hold on. If you're in, you know, if you're like 15 and older and you still don't know that Africa is a continent, then there's a problem there if you're coming from America. I'm not going to excuse that. We need to go back to school. But, you know, the point is we don't know what country you're from. Now, it's very obvious to spot, you know, somebody from Somalia or Ethiopia because they have such a distinct look. But regardless of that, you know, we know that you're Africans.
And that's it. Because Kwame Nkrumah was advocating for an all African passport, and I think even the weak AU is working on trying to get that.
And it definitely should be done. I don't understand why you have this beautiful continent and you have these border rules. Oh, you're from Senegal, you need a visa to come to Ghana. But then when you call all each other brothers and sisters, so we're our brothers and sisters, and shouldn't we be all open to travel between, you know, countries? Just like in America, we travel between states. But then, like you said, this is a continent, not a country. So.
Now, I have my next question. I don't know how it hit you. Are you religious?
Yes, I am. I am actually something called Hebrew Israelite.
Oh, okay. So that's when I saw the name Israel.
Yes, I am Hebrew Israelite. Born.
So have you been to Dimona before?
No, I have never been to Dimona.
Are you in contact with them?
I meet them occasionally while I'm here, but I have not been to Dimona, Israel.
Okay.
When I want to keep my religious holidays, or I don't really like the term religious, but when I keep the holidays and I go to Cape Coast, giving a shout out to Mabel's Table and Rabbi Kohim and his wife Mabel. I go there and I keep it the feast and things there. I try to keep the Sabbath day at home.
How different will the Hebrew Israelite be from the ordinary Christian or Muslim or so?
You know, it really depends on the person. Hebrew Israelites are getting a bad rap because some of their views seem very radical.
For example?
For example, some of them believe they don't like white people. They believe that all white people are Edomites. How I operate is that, I believe in the Holy One of Israel, and I do according to what his word says. But I hate no one. I don't practice prejudice towards anyone because honestly, hate just takes too much energy, and I just don't have that energy to spend.
I was saying it here on the
else.
show that hate is a waste of time and energy.
Exactly. But I will not turn a blind eye to the oppression of my people. And when I'm talking about my people, I'm not talking about Hebrew Israelites. I'm talking about people, black people, that is, opposed on them. I'm not going to turn a blind eye just because you're nice to what's going on. I'll call it out. I'll call a spade a spade. But I'm not going to go and speak and tell this person, oh, you're going to go to hell, or, you're not promised, or you're not this, or you're not that. I'm not the creator. I don't know your final destination. Exactly. I don't know my own final destination. So, I'll keep that to myself. Nice one there.
You talking about people calling you a brony, and for the first 2 years it was so hard on you.
Yeah.
There's this Nivea advert in Ghana, like for visibly light skin. And people are actually, myself, I was angry on the show yesterday. That was one of my topics that I discussed. And do you know that if you pick every 10 Ghanaian, 9 don't know is an insult? Or not?
It's funny. Me, right at the Accra Mall, there's a big billboard, and I was with Carnita, and me and Carnita, she's she's frequent on your show, Dr. Carnita Groves, and we seen this billboard. And it's a billboard advertising for, I don't know, Brazilian Indian hair. It's some type of artificial or human hair. And it said under the billboard, the status, the symbol of status or something like that. And when I seen it, I was like, Carnita, look at this. And she took a picture of it. And I was like, this is the most blatant, disrespectful billboard. So you're telling me that I don't have status or that I haven't achieved, that, what is the word I'm looking for? That I haven't achieved that beauty, that standard of beauty. If I don't have this hair, are you kidding me? That hair that falls flat, that's dead, that hair.
And start thinking anytime there's sweat.
Now, that is one of the things that is very disappointing for me here in Ghana. The obsession with skin bleaching and the obsession
and long
with the it's not even the long hair. It's every hair that's not African hair. The Brazilian hair, the Indian hair, the wigs, the weaves. Oh my gosh.
It's because of, you see, those of you out there went through something. We here also went through something.
Exactly.
And all of us have repercussions, and that is ours.
And it's just really saddening, so many women, you see the older women with big bruises, it look like bruises. Their skin is...
It's called Nansorbane.
Exactly. A big purple and black spots. And I asked why. This is back in the 80s when they were really using the bleaching cream, and they wasn't telling them that, hey, if you go outside in the bleaching cream, it reacts to the sun, and this is what happened. And now their skin is permanently damaged because they were bleaching their skin. Well, let's talk about these bleaching creams. For one, if you're already very dark, it does nothing for you. Absolutely nothing. Bleaching creams work better on people who already have a light tone. And then if you're going to use that bleaching cream, you really need to avoid going directly in the sun.
That's first-time education. That if you are dark already like mine,
it's not going to do anything for you.
So how do people like me turn out to be fair?
You don't need to turn out to be fair. What's wrong with the melanin in your skin as it is?
I understand, and I want to be more darker. Seriously.
That's the thing. We need to look out. We need to first address what's wrong with being dark. Your melanin is protecting you. Your melanin gives you energy. Your melanin is actually worth money. Literally, I'm not joking. Your melanin is literally worth money.
Explain that.
I'm not the one to go into this topic with because I'm not an expert. But there's tons of YouTube videos that explains that how melanin scientifically affects the body and how it's good for you. And
and I think even if you take it from the literal meaning, if you are healthy, you are wealthy.
Exactly.
So if your melanin is going to protect you from any disease and all that, then you're going to save money on health.
Exactly. But we've been brainwashed to believe that the darker you are, the uglier you are, and it's absolute nonsense. As you're sitting here now, yes, I am what people would say, quote unquote, fair, which I don't believe I am. But I get lighter than this when I'm not in, when I was in America during the winter months and stuff. But I stand out in the sun. Like, I purposely go out in the sun, and people are like, oh, don't go in the sun, you'll get dark. That's the purpose. Okay, and they say this is a bad thing. As you see, my son, he's a bit light. He's a bit lighter than me, and my husband, he's a bit darker than me. So oh, he's so nice, he's so fair, and I'm thinking to myself, so the only reason why he's nice is because he's fair, because as he get older, he'll go out in the sun. When you say he's not fair, he's not nice anymore because he's not that fair. It's just this obsession, and that's one of the disappointing things, because I came here and when I saw that obsession with the skin bleaching, it was like, I don't see that over there. Now, do we have problems with colorism, light against dark over there? Yes. But skin bleaching, I didn't see that amongst my friends.
So, you in your position now, you stay there, you've come here. Now I think you have a couple of friends here.
Oh, yeah.
Do you use your experience to educate brothers and sisters about
yes,
why they should love their skin, and what's the response?
I tell my friends over here, I have friends as dark as light, and I tell them all that you're beautiful. There's nothing wrong with your skin, and thankfully, with the younger generation, I'm starting to see this awakening that girls who's wearing their natural hair, and girls like, I don't want that skin bleaching stuff, and it's just celebrating our beauty as Black people. We just need to come back to that. We're beautiful. If we wasn't as great as they try to make us, you wouldn't have Kim Kardashians walking around. Women who's getting plastic surgery to have big butts like a Black woman, full lips like a Black woman, large breasts like a Black woman. So you wouldn't have all the attributes of a Black woman, but you're still trying to lighten up your skin. They're insulting us and complimenting us at the same time. They want everybody wants to be Black.
That's what we call reverse psychology.
Exactly. Everybody wants to look Black and celebrate Blackness, but everybody doesn't want to be Black. They love Black culture, but they don't want to be Black. And it's like you don't get to pick and choose. I see you when you're enhancing your lips. When you was making fun of us back in the 30s and the 50s and stuff, talking about our big lips, and now the whole craze is now all the Caucasian and white women plumping their lips up to look fuller. Or now everybody is so obsessed with a big butt, but you made fun of us. And they called, I remember somewhere on Twitter some time ago I seen where they had said, Kim Kardashian is the Sarah Bachman. You know who that is. Sarah Bachman of this age of time. And it just Black Twitter exposed it. How dare you even compare that to Sarah Bachman, who was actually put on like a circus act because of her attributes. And then you calling this woman who's now going off, getting all this plastic surgery to look like us, making money off of looking like us, being praised because she have attributes of us, and then you compare her to her. It's just offensive.
Yeah, offensive.
Completely offensive.
I'm looking at your hair.
Yeah.
Are you now forever nappy?
I've always, actually, I had dreads. Actually, just as recently as yesterday, I just combed out my dreads. I had dreads. My mother locked my hair at the age of 5 months.
Wow.
So I had locks all the way up from 5 months up until, what was I when I first cut my first set off? I think I was 24. And then I went natural. And then I locked my hair back up. And then I cut it off again this year.
So you've never tasted the Brazilian wig and stuff before?
No, for what?
Yeah.
No, for
Yeah.
what? I'll go back and forth between locks and then afro locks and afro. And then yesterday I had my locks in. I'm like, I want my afro back, and so I combed out all my locks
Wow.
just yesterday, and then now I'm back rocking my afro, and that's how I get. You know, regardless if I have the long, and my locks, the longest I let them get was like 2 inches past my knees.
We also want to have a segment just like this Diasporan segment that we have
Mhm.
with natural hair like yours, girls that to like we're going to give them once in a week to come onto the show to talk about that.
Right. And not just the women, but the men too. The men too, because one thing I noticed is that, okay, you know, I'm starting to see young guys now dyeing their hair, perming their hair. What's with that? And then, you know, I'm seeing guys being pressured, especially here in Ghana, being pressured to cut off their hair if they have locks.
My
And
dear,
it's like, what's wrong with locks?
he's a victim. You have to cut it.
Yes.
I only had an afro. What I went through, I had to. I'm now growing it back. You know.
We need to get back to loving ourselves, loving our skin, loving our hair, and just loving who we are as a people.
Yeah. Let me ask you. At your age, and you moving from there with mom and all that, and now finally settled here. What would you say about the African dream of having African who really understand themselves, who know themselves, believe in themselves? In a nutshell, how do you see black love, like self-love among Africans to be in the next 5-10 years on the continent? I mean, do you see progress?
Yes, I do. Honestly, I do.
And what are the signs?
You know, the signs is now I'm starting to see more and more young women, you know, wearing their natural hair. See more and more people, you know, now speaking out and being vocal about, you know, turning away from skin bleaching.
For example, when I saw a university lecturer, Ghanaian, talking against the Nivea, and he said Ghanaians should boycott Nivea products.
You know, I'm starting to see young people, you know, starting to embrace y'all culture more. You know, talking about, you know, it's nice to have your London friends and your American friends, but we're Ghanaians, we're Nigerians, you know, we're Ivorians. Let's get back to that. Especially when I see some of your music videos. I love it when I see the music videos and y'all wearing y'all cultural dress. You know, I am starting to see that. I can't say I'm not. Even in America, this past 2 or 3 summers, that even the prom dresses were African print themed. You know, the African print wearing in her clothing. You're starting to see an awakening, and it's good. And it's not just in Africa. It's all over. You know, people in the UK, the Africans are in the UK, like, you know, hey, I might be in the UK, but I'm a Ghanaian. You know, I'm Nigerian. You know, even in America, our Nigerian rapper Wale. You know, hey, I might be born here, but my roots are Nigerian. You know, we're starting to see this awakening of people recognizing who we are.
And even with hip-hop artists now using a lot of African beats and dance.
Exactly.
As we were saying before we came to online.
Exactly. And you know, what the thing is about it, we never really deviated far from it. When you look like, in America, we have this dancing form from the West Coast called crump. And, you know, people are like, it looks crazy, but it's like, look at it, and then look at your traditional, some of your African dances, and you can't tell me you don't see the resemblance.
Exactly.
Our foods, you know, y'all have y'all y'all have y'all jollof rice, and y'all red beans, and y'all watch it, and then we have our red beans and rice. You know, you see it, we didn't disconnect from you guys. We were just removed, but we didn't disconnect. And it's this awakening that I'm starting to see. Maybe people are like, you know what? Let's get back to who we are truly as a people. Because, you know, there's value in who we are and where we come from. Exactly. And until we realize that value will be lost. You can be right here in Africa and still be very lost.
Yeah, exactly. And the majority of us are lost, seriously. Mama Shiriki, she is older. So she is in a better position to see her reaction the first day she got here. She said she knelt down and kissed the earth and said she's made it.
Oh yes, a lot of the older people. Is my mother came here, she cried. You know, when we made it back, she cried because she was like, I've made it back. I'm home now. What she told me is I'm no longer a slave. I was in America, but I was still a slave. I left the slave plantation and I came back to where they told me they wouldn't come. Before I go, I want to tell you about my first experience when I came and my mother took us to the slave castles. If you are from anywhere, I don't care where you're from, go to the slave castles. If you come to Ghana, you do not need to leave this country until you visit one of the slave castles, whether it's in Elmina or Cape Coast. I went to the one in Cape Coast. And there's a door there. It's one at both of the slave castles, but there's a door called the Point of No Return. When you stand in front of that door, if you don't cry, then something is wrong with you. If you don't feel it, something is wrong with you. If you don't feel the presence and it's overwhelming feeling of just remorse and happiness and sadness and just joy, something is wrong with you. And freedom, something is wrong with you. I stood in the same spot where they took our people from and said that we would not return. And I stood at that door and I said, I returned. And I was 9 years old when I went. I was 9 and I remember that. I remember standing within a slave dungeon and just feeling it. You can just feel their presence and just, speaking, whether you're speaking in your mind, from your spirit, or from your mouth, I'm back. If you don't take that and you don't come here and you do that, then you have came to Ghana and you have come to Africa for no reason. You need to go there to be able to get that experience. Because when you stand in that slave castle, where we were kept like animals, worse than animals, and you can stand there as a free man or woman and say, I've returned, you have completed your African pilgrimage.
When I went there,
Pilgrimage.
When I went there, one thing that was so stunning for me is left is the female dungeon. Far right, it was the church in the middle. And for me, I'm like, okay, why would that God send these people to do this to my ancestors? And they are the same people who introduced me to Him through their New Testament and stuff. And I'm like, it doesn't tally for me.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of people say that. What I stand on as far as religion is, I made it a point to myself to say, I'll never impede anybody from serving who they want to serve. But I would never stop and I would never tell nobody not to ask questions. I don't reject the Son of God, but I do reject European version of Christianity. I won't say I reject the Son of God. I won't say that. But I definitely outright reject the European understanding of God. Because whoever that blonde hair, blue eye, white guy y'all got hanging up on that stick, I don't know who that is. That doesn't depict anything but their fantasy on who they think they are. They're literally telling you and showing you that they think they're gods and they think that they're your God.
So that is why when they see you, they call you Obroni. They are calling you Obroni to give you more respect, because they respect the Obroni to the max, because the God they worship look like the Obroni.
Right.
So anyone closer to that, you understand. Anyway, we are coming to the end of our conversation, and I know you'll be coming here over and over because I'm loving the conversation with you.
Oh, I would love to come again.
Yeah. What is it do you want to add that we've not talked about this morning?
I would just tell my brothers and my sisters who have not yet come home, remember, even if you can't come, remember who you are. We can get so caught up in our lives and what's going on, and it's easy to forget that, although it's not easy to forget that you're black, it's easy to forget that what our people went through. So many of our people died for us to be here to just talk freely like this. And we need to remember them. Remember those. Whether it's your grandma, it's Kwame Nkrumah, you know, it's ancient kings or queens, or it's your neighbor from down the street. Remember. Because we're forgetting. And when you forget who you are, when you forget where you came from, then who you are is meaningless. Where we came from. Where we come from means everything. It means everything. So remember, if you can't make it to Africa, fine. Hey, somebody, you know, not everybody is financially in a position to make it. But remember and represent. Represent, you know. I've always represented. People ask me, you know, who are you? I'll tell you. Where you come from, I'll tell you. And for my Hebrew Israelites out there, you know, I know some of y'all have some way against Africans. Israel originally was part of the continent of Africa. And if you don't think so, just look down at your skin. Finish.
Powerful. Thank you very much, Yaya, for having this amazing time with us on Xlive Africa. It's unfortunate that today we couldn't go live, but we're going to upload the videos right after we leave the studios, and
No problem.
I know you're going to share it to all the people out there.
Yes, I definitely will.
Quickly, what is their reaction when you take pictures from the Silver Bear Cinema and those and send to your
They tell me they want to come here, and I tell them come. They offer every time. I mean, I have people, you know, I'm on Facebook, and you know, I tell people, you know, Africa is beautiful. You know, come here. Don't take my word for it. Come. It's not that expensive, honestly. If you can afford to buy, you know, concert tickets and your shoes and your clothes and go out to eat, then you can save. You save for what you want to save for. You spend on what you want to spend. Now, if you can find money to do all those things, then you definitely can find money to come down here. Because you got your brothers and sisters here who's saving up every peso, every CD to make it over there, and they don't have half as much as what our brothers and sisters have there. So you save and you plan for what you want. Don't make excuses.
Okay, and the background is one of your favorite songs, Sweetie by Raquel. So this is where we bring each and everything to an end on the Diasporan conversation on Xlive Africa. And we're hoping to have you another time here.
Oh, I would love to be on again. And thank you so much for having me.
Alright. Put it upon Betty.
DJ, let's go.
Where my lady at?
It's another one.
You know some money no be problem.
Sweet Dio, sweet tea, sweet Dio, sweet hey, sweet Dio, sweet yeah, sweet Dio,
From the very start, this young man, he stole my heart. He'd come by to Candyville from morning, noon, and after dark. I can't believe this guy, he was all dressed up in a suit and tie, and he ordered from Jack and Jill to Chupa Chop and cherry pie. And so I walked up to him and asked him, my friend, how's your day been so far? And then he ordered a chocolate bar. He stood and introduced himself as Candyman, with choco all in his hand, and he said, I like chocolate, so will you be my sugar? Honey, will you marry me today? Cause I like toffee, so be my sweetie. I can't believe this man, he wanted to be more than a friend, and I couldn't imagine having Candyman as a boyfriend. But it might not seem so bad, a Chupa Chupa can be the best I've had. But we could live so happily and build our own sweet factory. And so I replied to him, my sweet boyfriend, would you like to be mine? Sweet brown hot toffee chocolate pie. He held my hand and said, I'll be what you want me to be. Then he went down on his knees and he said, I like chocolate, so will you be my sugar? Honey, will you marry
I want the money, fame, jewelry, range. She has been on TV before, but she's still the same. Well, like it's sexy, strange, healthy, hey. But still nobody knows her name. She be one in a million. On Pekasa P, go friend of so I was don't be silly. Take it easy, nigga. Swear my father can choose again of where fetching Halle Berry. In the chief with the brain, in Nantes, a Katy Perry. Today be my day, be my Kelly, I'm your Nelly. What's me looking hard, they me compare my Cavelli. Wow, also go share me video on the telly. Anything you want, tell me baby, cause I'm ready. Now,
Sweetie, oh, sweetie, sweetie, oh, sweetie, sweetie, oh, sweetie, sweetie, oh, sweetie, oompa, oompa, dee, oompa, oompa, dee, doo, oompa, oompa, dee, doo, oompa, dee, oompa, doo, oompa, oompa, dee, oompa, oompa, dee, doo, oompa, oompa, dee, oompa, dee, oompa, doo. I like chocolate, so will you be my sugar? Honey, will you marry me today? 'Cause I like toffees to be my sweetie.